I would like to introduce you to my book, Sensation Refined. So what is this book all about? When I came up with the idea of sensation and wrote a book, Sensation in Homeopathy, it kind of caught on in the profession, and a lot of people got excited with this idea and started using in their practice. But a lot of mistakes were made too. A lot of confusion was there too. And I felt the need to refine this idea and to show how one can make mistakes with it and how to correct or avoid these mistakes in practice. For example, every sensation that the patient talks about is not the sensation that we should look into. What are the qualities of the sensation that we have to take into account? For example, that sensation should not be a local one, it should be a global one. For example, the patient says, I have stiffness in my fingers. Are we going to take stiffness as a sensation? Maybe, maybe not. We have to find out, is this stiffness only restricted to the local place, or does it represent the sensation of the whole being? How do we find out? So these are the various things that the book Sensation Refined has. I would like to just go through with you about certain things that are mentioned. For example, when the patient talks, when the patient narrates, how do we know which are the words and expressions that represent the sensation? One hint is that they should be non-human specific words. What do I mean by that? I mean they are words that can equally apply to a human or to any other kingdom, minerals, plants or animals. For example, the patient says, you know, doctor, I find myself in a very tight situation. This is the experience. So what do we do with this? So we ask him, describe what is tight. And then we have got to note whether this tight goes forward, whether it goes deeper, whether he gives you other examples of tight, whether he gives you an image of tight, an experience of tight, and whether that experience is found in other areas of his case, such as his fears, his dreams, his childhood. Whether that tight is accompanied with a gesture. How does one differentiate between a delusion and a sensation? For example, one of the commonest, you can say, expressions of the patient, he says, I want to be free. You ask him, what is to be free? And he says, to be free is to fly like a bird. Now, is this a delusion? Or does he need a bird remedy, for example? How to know this? So, the answer is simple. You have to ask him, what is the experience to fly like a bird? And you have to carefully listen to what comes out. And it could be anything. He could say, to fly like a bird is an experience of expansion. He could say it's a feeling of lightness. Or he can say it is the opposite of being trapped. So then you understand what the sensation is, because that sensation would be found in many, many areas of the case. The flying might disappear and something deeper might emerge. So, what are the common mistakes that we make and how can we correct that? What is the real difference between the kingdoms, for example? This can be confusing too. Because when we talk about, you see, wanting a relationship, wanting a community, it could be very well a mineral theme of wanting, needing. It could be very well an animal theme of being a part of a group or society. It could be very well a plant theme of being excluded or included. How do you know the difference? So then you have to carefully listen in every area of the case. Is the patient repeatedly talking of I need, I want, I lack? Is this the main thing that is coming through and through in any area that you look at? Or very quickly when you ask him about what do you need a group, what is the feeling in a group, and he says the group gives me security and the opposite of it is vulnerability to attack. What is attack? Attack is like being pounced upon, maybe. So he gives you the needing of a group as a part of a survival process. That's animal. And what is it for you to be in a group? I feel included. What do you mean by included? Included means I'm not pushed out. And everywhere you go, that's all you get. Included and forced out. This is a plant. When there is one sensation and its opposite. When there is a process and survival, that's animal. When there is just the lack and the need, that's mineral. So how to understand these subtle differences? It can be quite confusing in cases. How to refine it? How to refine your search? What is a miasm? How do you understand in a case what is the sensation and what is the miasm? A person says, I feel claustrophobic, I feel as if things are getting tighter, I want to escape, I want to get out. Is this tubercular miasm? Is it a sensation? How do you know? So these are the various things that I found can be confusing to the practitioner as regard to the sensation method. And this book attempts to address those issues. For example, how do you differentiate between the one level and the other level? Because that is very important in choosing the potency. For that I have made, for example, a very interesting kind of a graphic which shows that when the problem is in the part of a part, that means there is an ulcer in the stomach and that's all that is prominent right now. That is at level 1. When the problem is in the stomach, that means local part, it is level 2. When the problem is in the stomach and the whole together, that is level 3. When the problem is only on the whole, it's level 4. When the problem is in a way which is showing the source more than the human, that is level 5. And when you only see the energy pattern, not even the source, it's level 6. And when the patient is at a blank level, witness level, that is level 7. So the features of these levels are described. And this is very, very important for me in selecting the potency. Also, I talk about flexibility with the method. Because what happened was that because people got a little bit over dependent on the sensation method, some practitioners, including me in the beginning, we started kind of pushing the patient to get the sensation out. Tell me, tell me, tell me. You made this gesture. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? The patient kind of got a little bit stuck there, couldn't go, but we had to have it because we didn't have the flexibility. So I found that's not a very good idea. Sometimes the patient can tell you things which are not true just to get out of that situation. So how to be flexible, how to know where there is resistance and how to find a way around it. So these are all described in this Sensation Refined book. So if you want to take full advantage of the sensation method, this book I would suggest is essential reading for you.